Caitlin.
As a child growing up, there's two infamous quotes that my dad used to tell me as a small child. First one being, wipe a little dirt on it. The second one being, if you don't think about it, it won't hurt that bad. Those are two famous quotes that my dad used to tell me as a kid that always stuck in my mind because of the fact of, as a kid when I would get hurt, those were two things that would help cool me down, calm me down when things got tough. My dad has always been a man of integrity and a man of strength and a man of strong will. So that's why I've decided to use my father as the center point of my honorary speech. My father was 18 years old, just graduated from college, newly married, and along came me as a son. My dad had it was very hard growing up, being so young and having to raise a family, start out with a young child. And I admire my dad so much now that I can look back and think about how much he has done and how much he put into being a young father and starting a young family. I just envy my dad 100% for that. His time was occupied with three jobs. Number one would be going to school full-time as a college student, the National Guard, and of course me, the 3-month-old baby at home. Those things alone, in my mind, show the determination and strength in my father that is so evident and envious of myself. The purpose of this speech is to present to my audience three qualities that my dad possesses that I like to transpond into my life, which are hard work, Christianity, and of course family. Christianity. My dad has always taught me as a young kid a lot about how to pray. He's always taught me about different things that are going on in the Bible, Bible stories, books of the Bible. Through Sunday school, through confirmation, different things in my churchhood, church life, he's taught me many things. How to rely on the Lord to help me get through when times are rough. Count on the Lord. He's my ultimate father. He's the one of above. He's the one I got to please the most. Another thing my dad's always taught me is stand up for what I believe in, even if you're the only one standing. That means stand up for what you believe in, do the right thing. Even if somebody's peer pressure trying to tell you to do another thing, make sure you're always doing the right thing at all times. Hard work. My dad has always taught me a lot about hard work, having a strong work ethic, working hard, giving it 100% at all times, making sure you do it right the first time, so you don't have to go back and fix it and rework the project or the thing that you're fixing or you're working on. I can remember a story, hard work. My dad and mom had purchased our first house, and I was up there helping them roof. We'd get up early in the morning, try and beat the summer heat, work through the day, however long it took to the stopping point or whatever part of the day it was. And we worked so hard, I remember getting off the roof. The tar was stuck to our shoes because it was so hot, and getting off the roof and being nauseous because I worked so hard. Pushed me to the limit, didn't stop until the work was done. Family. My dad has always taught me a lot of important things about family. The trust that you have in your family, family bond. That's ultimately in life, family is all you have. You have your Savior God and your family. Your family are the ones that you're going to rely on in times of need. Good times, they're the ones that you're going to create the memories and have all that ultimate things in your life that your family are going to be there for you and help you out. Secondly, there's another story I'd like to share. As a young kid, I can remember my sister and I, when we were in church, my dad would always, if we felt a pinch on our leg, was because, if the preacher's up there talking, we were, supposed to be quiet, whether we were coloring or whatever, quiet, giving the preacher his time to preach and not making noise and a ruckus to draw attention to us. I remember if we got that pinch, that means we were getting on the line. And I remember in our church, I think we were the only two kids that always stood and sat in our pew and colored and didn't make any noise. Nowadays, it's you go to church, you have parents running their kids out because they're so loud and different things. So it's very important that I feel that it was important that my dad always raised me to pay attention in church, and it carries on today. In conclusion, in my eyes, the most memorable accomplishment is raising a son at such a young age. My dad, I'm so envious. At 18 years old, freshly out of high school, newly married, having a 3-month-old baby at the time of being in college and working 3 different jobs. Very envious of him. Took a lot of hard. Secondly, my dad is my hero. I look up to him. I think of him as the rock. He's very determined, self-determined, willing, stands up for what he believes in. Very strong person. I always have a strong faith and a believer in God like my father does. My dad has taught me, like I had mentioned earlier, a lot of things about having a strong faith, relying on God, praying, working very hard at being a solid Christian and having a strong faith. Another thing is hard work ethic has carried on a lot of things about having a hard work, working hard. That's one of the things that has really played a part in my life. And lastly, he's really guided me to become a family guy. Thinking about the future of me having my family and different things, he's taught me a lot about taking care of my significant other and being a family guy.